My name is Dr. Matthew Long, and I am Executive Dean at Santa Rosa Junior College. My job is to be in charge of one of our two major campuses, and I'm also the college's Guided Pathways Administrator, and also in charge of one of our committees around student success. So just to talk a little bit about how we use data in terms of continuous improvement, our goal was to really create these baselines. How is this program affecting students? And so we looked at these three intermediate measures: course retention, course completion, and then persistence from one semester to the next. So once we establish baselines, then the data is really there in terms of delving into more detail. Which groups are achieving better than others in those three areas? How are we affecting students differentially? Are those outcomes changing in terms of semester to semester, and in terms of maybe some tweaks that we make to the program, different aspects that we emphasize? And so the way of gauging those effects is really through that data that we hope to see those continuous measures move up. I think what's become interesting about continuous improvement through looking at these numbers has been how they do change, or what the dynamics are between groups. And so I think all of that is really rich and important information. So I think at some point, data is also about telling a story. And I think you have to think about what story you want to tell to each of the various audiences that you're engaged in. What we found actually is that the simpler the data story, the more easily it is told to folks who are interested in our program and its effects. I think it's really important to have some kind of subjective measures that talk about the experience of students. Ultimately, you're trying to affect the experience students have with your college through some kind of program or intervention. And so that experience, capturing that experience, is really important, whether you do that through interviews or, again, some kind of measure of like a psychosocial domain. Moving your college to a culture of utilizing data is super difficult. Whether your college is small or large, as ours is, changing to that kind of use is difficult. There's a lot of barriers to it, and that's okay. I think the use case of seeing why it was so successful for us is helpful, I think, in understanding that it can be a really great tool for understanding your program and for justifying the usefulness of the work that we do. It's really important work.